Yo,
It's
what are we
getting ridiculous.
talking about here?
I
The
don't know.
country is in shambles.
Listen,
The stock market is falling apart.
but you got them
People
plastic
are
straws.
getting laid off at a ridiculous ratio right now. We're talking about decommissioning the Department of Education. This man is signing an executive order for friggin' plastic straws. What are we doing here?
Listen,
I gotta watch my tone because I might get a knock at the door shortly.
Listen. We are back for another episode of Wrapped. This month we take on March 2025, which also feels like time is going fast and slow at the same time. How are you doing, my man?
I'm doing all right. I have no complaints. I mean, of course, there's always something to complain about, but I choose not to complain. So I'm doing all right. I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Can't complain too much myself either. Just trying to, make the best of everything we have going on.
Yes, sir.
Speaking of that, we're going to start off with the man with the most impeccable morning routine, apparently. Was it Aaron Hall? No, because Aaron Hall.
Ashton.
It was Aaron Hall.
That's funny. Aaron Hall.
Yeah, and he's trending because he posted his morning routine, which was included a 4 a.m. wake up. And it's funny because if you watch videos, a lot of people were clowning him because it was like, he was using fresh water bottled water to wash his face.
Saratoga Springs.
And then he, the other thing was somebody I was watching and they were like, yeah, he made it look like he was writing it in his journal and it was like the first page of the journal. So they're like, he definitely doing it for the camera. Then another thing is when he went and he dove into the water. It was like 3 minutes.
For 4 minutes. Yeah.
I don't know what that says about your accounting time there, sir, but it was definitely one of the most trending things out of nowhere too, honestly.
Hands down. Biggest trending thing.
What was your thoughts on that?
To be honest with you, the things that people sat there and looked at did not even occur to me. I none of the stuff that the only thing that stood out as there's a few things that stood out as weird. One, he was using Saratoga Springs to, put the water in the bowl before he dunked his face in there. And then him rubbing the banana on his face. That to me, those two things were kind of weird. Other than that, I was not shocked at all. If you're a part of the online movement where there are all these fitness influencers, influencers that are trying to, I guess, pull up young males, this is not abnormal. You see a bunch of this stuff, morning routine, nighttime routine. Personally, I think it's inspiring. What he's doing is probably unrealistic because, first of all, I don't know what type of day you intend to have when you're waking up at 3:50 in the morning.
Yeah.
But I know for myself, I have woken up extremely early to go to the gym on numerous occasions. You're not that functional for the remainder of the day. Once you get up and you do what you have to do and you get to the gym, me personally, by the time 10, 11, even noon hits, I need a nap because I'm so tired from being up at that point 8, 9 hours into my day. So it's a little unrealistic, but I think that the reason why it didn't affect me the way it affected other people, or it didn't stand out to me the way that stood out to other people, is because, one, I kind of felt like he was doing a lot of it just for the look, but secondly, people who are productive, this is not abnormal. I don't do the stuff that he does, but I have multiple alarms that are set to wake me up at by 6 a.m. I need to be up. That's kind of like, unless I really had like a horrible night, by 6 a.m. I want to be up. By 6:30 I want to be out of the house. By 6:20 I want to be out of the house. By 6:30 I want to be in the gym. So to see someone doing things like this, it's like, okay, yeah, he just has a whole different way of going about it, dunking his face in water, reading the Bible, he's journaling. Clearly, he's a guy who does not have to worry about money the way that I do, so he can use Saratoga water, and he's got a pool in his place and all of that. So it's kind of ridiculous and unrealistic for the average person like myself, but a morning routine does not by any means of the imagination surprise me. That's like what I would assume most people have is a routine when they wake up.
Yeah, my routine definitely at one point in my life was getting up and going to the gym at 5 o'clock. That is not it now. I would love to get back to that, but it's I have not been able to do that. But on a turn of events, though, there was another story alleged that he was being evicted from that same condo that he was shooting the video in. So apparently waking up early didn't include paying his rent. So maybe that's what he was doing all this video. He was doing all these videos because he literally had to make some money to pay his rent. So
hey, listen, man, he learned how to run that fast because you got to get away from those evictors.
He's running from the bills. That's one way. They can't catch you, you can't pay it.
Listen, J. Cole has a line talking about if you're clowning a millionaire, the joke's on you. Listen, I don't know if he's a millionaire or not. I don't know, but listen, because of his online virality with that video, he has a video with Mr. Beast now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I'm sure he was doing well before. Maybe not as well as he portrayed himself to be doing, but the virality of that video, what was a portrayal of what his life might have looked like, I guarantee you he could do that now. I guarantee you with the amount of signups for his fitness business, I mean, look at his socials. Every single social media account that he has blown up in terms of subscribers, engagement, watched hours. All of it has blown up. And now he's doing a video with Mr. Beast. His trajectory is going nowhere but up. So whatever his marketing idea was, it worked.
It worked. Yeah,
it worked.
Apparently, too, I think I'd read that the rent in that place was like $10K a month. I was like, God damn. Okay,
That's not that bad, to be honest with you. It's a lot of money. Don't get me wrong. I'm sitting here talking about it's not that bad. I can't afford $10K a month. However, on the bigger scale, to live in a high rise in a big city, which I believe he lives in Miami, $10K a month is not that. Listen, I've been to people's apartments here in New York City. They're paying like $5K a month, and all they have is one bedroom. And everything else is a single room. It's like the kitchen, the dining room, the living room. It's all one. It's a studio. Only thing that is an actual room is the bathroom and their bedroom. So, and that's $5K a month. So to pay $10K a month and have,
that's true.
Yeah, it's not that outrageous to hear someone paying that kind of money for that kind of real estate.
I wish him the best. I mean, I think he'll be fine.
I do too.
I think he'll be fine.
Yeah, of course.
But going into other trending things, President in Chief. I don't know.
I wish we could stop talking about this guy.
I wish too, but he, you ever watched The Office?
No, I have not actually. I know you reference it quite a bit, but I've never watched it.
So there's a scene in The Office where Stanley, the black guy, and the boss. I don't know. I was trying to describe.
Is he the only black one on the show?
In the office
the black
area,
guy.
he's the black guy in the office.
Okay,
part.
gotcha.
He's another guy in the warehouse. But he talked about he kind of lost it on Michael Scott, and he was like, "Yeah, every day I come in and you find a way to top it with the next day with your stupidity. You're a professional idiot." And I wouldn't go as far as calling Trump a professional idiot, but I would say you find a way to never make me not be surprised at the depths of stupidity that he goes. And things that I don't find important. And I know they're talking about potentially reversing citizenship if you have a negative opinion on Trump. So I might be out of here soon for that comment.
Is that real?
I don't know. I think there's a lot of that stuff that they're throwing out there to see if it would stick, and Yeah, we'll see. I don't know.
Well, I guess I'm out of here then.
I listen. If I don't want to live in a place where I can't speak negatively about the leaders, because that's literally what you signed up for.
This is America. Like, what are we talking about? If you can no longer criticize the people that are running the country, if you feel that they're running it in a way that is inefficient, why can't you speak? I mean, that's what voting is about.
100%.
Voting is you speaking towards who you think would be a better person to run the country. So I don't know. Hey, remove my rights. It is what it is. Even though I find it to be extremely stupid, I did quickly mention something like that to my wife, and she said, "Hey, I'll meet you in Canada." So
okay, Nada. Right. Listen, the good thing about it is we have lived other places before, so if that really does come down to it, it's not like we're not experienced. I'm not really worried about it, but it would be stupid and honestly, it would be if they actually make that a thing, it's gonna be the telltale sign that America that we knew has died officially.
Absolutely, absolutely. And me personally, I'm not afraid to live other parts of the world. I've lived in other parts of the world in much worse conditions.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, life was simple. But I don't think like I would be at such a loss. Like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? I can't be in the United States anymore. So
yeah, but that was not even the main part. But that came up. But as part of his, I don't understand what these bubbles are. So,
that's a like. Someone's giving props to what you're saying.
Apparently, I don't know who it is because only two of us here, so I'm concerned. So. First of all, this man, there needs to be a cap on the amount of executive orders this man could sign. I remember when Obama had done like 10 and it was like, oh my God, he did so many. I can't believe he did so many. I've lost count. But apparently Trump signed a executive order making English the official language of the United States.
Clap it up for Trump. What were we speaking before? What was the main language here before?
Wokeness? I don't know. I literally have no idea what we were. I mean, there is a large amount of people who speak Spanish, but changing this doesn't change anything. There's still going to be the people who speak Spanish, unless you're just ignorant and assume all the people are illegals and they're going to be removed. But
next we're going to hear he's signing an executive order for the sun to rise in the morning. Like, it's just getting stupid at this point.
We're just making shit up. We're just making it up. It's like, but you know what? It's like at the end of the day, it's like if he ends his presidency, he'll be like, I was the most productive president. I'm like, yes, because you really cared about getting the straws back, right? You really cared. I'm joking about that. That's the one thing that he's done that I'm like, I can understand.
What, plastic straws?
The plastic straws were better. Like I understand it's
he
bad
didn't sign an executive order for that.
I think he did. I think we've lost count. And
what are we talking about here? The country is in shambles.
Listen,
the stock market is falling apart.
But you got
people are
straws.
Getting laid off at a ridiculous ratio right now. We're talking about decommissioning the Department of Education. This man is signing an executive order for friggin' plastic straws. What are we doing here?
Listen,
I gotta watch my tone because I might get a knock at the door shortly.
Listen, they're gonna send them for us. The only good thing is they gotta find both of us. So if all I know we start shooting from another country,
listen, I live in Las Vegas, so they can come get me. I'm not telling you where in Las Vegas, but
you gotta figure it out. But so yeah, and then he also continued on his tirade about the tariffs, and it's very odd though because he's operating like he's moving from a place of strength, but then he keeps extending the tariffs. Like, now you got to pay the tariffs, but maybe next month. It baffles me. I don't understand.
It is the political version of hold me back. Hold me back.
Oh my
God. Like, I'll do it. I swear to God, I'll do it.
Yeah. It's so funny. There was a video and I saw on the internet. I don't know if I sent it to you where this guy, he was in like, it looked like a Home Depot or something like that. And he was scoring up against two guys who are actually bigger. He's like, hey, I'll knock your face off. He's like, oh, I'm ready. And the guy who said the first thing, he's like, oh. I was like, yeah, he was ready. He's like, oh, I've been waiting for this. And he did not know what to do. And like, that's what it feels like with this tariff stuff. And it's just like,
Man,
I just want,
put up or shut up.
I just want, I just want to not think about it. I remember the times when we didn't think about politics. And granted, I know it might be an age thing because I
Of
also
course.
he's younger and it didn't
Mhm.
it didn't affect us and like as much. But like, it's like, I was just so tired of it. And I guess to round up our political, I don't even know what to call it.
Segment.
Is it a segment? It just feels like a dumpster fire commode or so. I don't know.
Yeah.
Either way, JD Vance and Pete Hegseth were apparently trading secrets about a war plan using Signal, and that's bad enough because I'm assuming they assume Signal is somewhat secure, but you literally work for the United States government, which means you have what I would hope is some of the most secure systems set up, right?
Top level security in place. Or
But
at
you
least
decide
so we assume.
but you decide to use a Signal thing, and it's okay, whatever. You're subverting it, whatever. What you do then is you accidentally put a reporter in the group. So the reporter is now seeing this beforehand, which I'm sure if you were using the super secure systems that our taxpayer dollars paid for, you would not have been able to do that, right? Like there would have been a way to avoid this person because you're not just inviting somebody randomly. But either way, they did this and included the reporter, who then said he didn't want to include the messages because they were super secure. So he's more responsible for the things that he was accidentally put into than the people who are leading the country. Which brings
That's
me back
insane.
to my general dislike of JD Vance. I don't like JD Vance at all.
Apparently, you're not the only one. Did you see the news story where they went to Greenland and they were going door to door to find out about families who would want to sit down with JD Vance and his wife, and literally every single person in Greenland that they spoke to said absolutely not. They're not interested.
Nope, I don't want nothing to do with you. And I get it. Honestly, the thing about him that makes it worse than, let's say he's worse than Trump, but he's up there with Trump, is that he was talking shit about Trump, bro. He was talking so much shit about Trump,
In
and
his
then
first
and then he was like, "Oh, did you tell Trump thank you? Did you tell President Trump thank you?" Like in the form of like trying to be a gangster. I'm like, bro,
that's what he was saying to Zelensky.
Yeah,
right?
I'm like, yo, you was soft, bro. Like, you can even stand up to a couch, man. So
shoot.
Sorry, I gotta leave that. I just don't like him. I don't like him. I don't think there's anything he can do to make me like him. So it just is.
That bridge is burned.
Yeah, no, it was burnt before he got here. And to quickly segment into another area of just ridiculousness, the man formerly known as Kanye West has become.
What are we calling him these days? Is it Ye? Is it Kanye? Is it Yeezy? Is it Adolf Hitler? Like, what is he? What is he rocking with at this point? Listen, I don't want to make too much fun of Kanye West because me personally, even though I understand that the things that he's saying is inexcusable, we are in real time watching someone with probably an undiagnosed mental disorder, and if I'm not mistaken, it probably is diagnosed. He just doesn't take his pills, from what I remember. But watching someone with a mental disorder who has access to a platform, and because it's ran by Elon Musk, he's just allowed to just spew all kinds of random nonsense on the internet. If this was Facebook or IG, he would have already been shut down. And he was shut down on Twitter before it became a platform that was owned by Elon Musk and now has become X. So we're literally just able to witness the ramblings of a madman, like literally.
It's just so disappointing, bro. And it's disappointing because I felt like Kanye's always like, I don't want to be hypocritical because Kanye technically has always been like this. When he jumped out there and said George Bush didn't like black people, like this is the same kind of energy.
Yes.
We
championed that though.
We championed that, and now we are seeing the monster we created.
The other side of that.
This is what happens when that goes off the rails, right? And it's just it's unfortunate because like his antics now have gotten to the point where there is no coming back, right? Like before he would do something, he would drop a project, and you're like, that's Ye's just that's the crazy Uncle Ye, But at this point, it's like, yo, what? Like he wants to be destroyed. It feels like he wants to have no way of coming back. And I mean, we're going to a list of people he beefed for this month. This month alone. This month alone,
That's
it's
a
just like
never-ending list.
But this month it was Playboy Carti
Mm-hmm.
and also Kendrick.
Yes, Drake too.
Well, he's always had an issue with Drake though. So this is
Yeah,
like,
but he was
said something
giving
this
Drake. Yeah, bro, you should see
I
the
can't keep
tweets he
up.
have about Drake. He is straight up calling him the F word on there.
Oh wow.
Like he is just straight up like Drake is a and this like he was going crazy. But continue with the list. I'm sorry.
So I didn't even know Drake was on that list, but
Yeah,
yeah,
he is.
the Kendrick one. I know he made some comment about Kendrick, and I think Charlemagne had said it was definitely jealousy because
Yeah, he made
Kendrick,
multiple comments.
yeah, Kendrick did to Drake what Kanye hoped that he could have done, and he was never able to because he got him all the way out of here, had him in Australia with holes in his shirt, and
Yeah.
I don't think that was a thing. And then somebody had mentioned too that it felt like Kanye is lost his nemesis when Drake was destroyed, so now he doesn't know how to operate. And I'm like, my man, you got too much money, and like go and do something with your time, like
Bro. Do you remember when Like That dropped?
Yeah.
You remember when Like That dropped?
Yeah,
and he
yeah.
did a Like
verse.
That remix. And at the beginning of the song, he said, "Yo, Dot, I got you." And then went on to say all the nonsense he was saying in that song. It was a remix that no one cared about. But
Nope.
back then, he was championing Kendrick. And now all of a sudden, I don't like how Kendrick raps, blah, blah. He just, again, unhinged ramblings of a mad person.
I just, I'm surprised we don't have a documentary. They brought out those Diddy documentaries immediately. There should be a documentary about how this man has gone off the rails.
The downfall of Kanye West.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we'll see something like that not in the not too distant future because he has destroyed everything he has built, from his family to his businesses to his legendary status as a producer. Everything that he built, we're watching in real time as he destroys it.
It's so
relationships. I mean,
yeah, like he went, and then when you start talking about the kids, like he went out to Kim Kardashian, and then he went after Beyonce and Jay-Z's kids, and I'm like, I it's one thing when you're dealing with the adults. When you start bringing kids into it, to me, that's like it. That's like, what we doing right now? What are we doing?
I'll tell you right now, I'm not someone that likes to consider himself a purveyor of violence, nor am I the type of person that is going to promote violence. But if that was a close friend of mine at one point, and this is how he's talking about my kids, if I see him, I'm slapping the anti-Semitism out of his mouth.
Yeah, you're gonna get a Nipsey slap, bro.
For real. Slap. I mean, that would be actually a kind slap compared to what I would. That's the things he was saying. I don't even want to repeat. It's just like, what is wrong with you, my guy? Yeah. What did Jay and Bay do to even trigger this sort of a response?
Right now, I think it's one of those things where he did something and he got backlash, and it gave him a little bit of attention. Then I think also every time he's had some issues with like the women in his life, I feel like he starts losing it. And so because I think the impending divorce is probably sending him into another tailspin.
So that's confirmed. He's getting divorced from his.
I keep hearing it, but I heard they weren't officially married before.
Right. That's also what I've heard.
So all of this could be completely, publicity, and he could be playing the Adam 22 thing where he's just pimping out this story to make headlines. But I'm just like, I'm sorry. Normally, the thing that gets us off of this ridiculousness is music, and he's not even doing good music like that anymore.
Right.
So it's just like, I'm tired, and I'm over it.
Have you listened to Bully?
I haven't.
Okay.
Have you?
I listened to maybe like one song.
You can't get through it.
Yeah, and Me, I'm the type of person, because I listen to some really questionable characters' music, like truly. Kanye West is probably at the bottom of that scale, so I should be able to listen to it. But I'm so turned off to him as a person that I don't even really care about the art that much anymore.
Which is funny because you've always done a very good job of delineating the person from the
Totally.
music, but it's like you can't right now you can't even escape his antics.
And it's the quality I think for me too, because even though he is doing the things that he's doing, if the music quality was still up to par, I would probably still be willing to listen. But after hearing Vultures 2, it's gonna be hard for me to listen to another Kanye project because he's not even rapping properly anymore. It's like, again, his rapping has become similar to the way that he tweets and speaks. It's almost like he's just rambling. It's not like the verses, they're not witty, they don't make sense. He's not putting words together that's like, "Oh, that was hard," or "That was cool." It's just nonsense. And my understanding is he's implementing a lot of use of AI. So again, your art form is suffering, and now you're implementing AI. So what's the point in listening to you? There's no art being created anymore. You're using machines to create a voice that sounds similar to yours. I'm not even listening to you. Why am I listening?
uh, I don't know. I'm he's another one that I wish we just wouldn't hear anything about for a little bit. This is just
He
go
needs
to
to sit down.
Australia, and chill. But and then that takes us to he had apparently he said he was getting like death threats or something like that. I went to
Yes.
Tokyo,
Yeah,
and
he's in
then
Japan hiding out.
and now he's in Japan beefing with Jim Jones, and I'm like, sir, they hung out together. Then apparently Jim Jones was given money to, I guess, be the intermediary between him and some crypto thing. And so now he's out here saying F Jim Jones. I'm just like, I am sick at like, bro, it's one thing to be annoying. It's another thing just to be insufferable. And he's insufferable right now. And
Absolutely.
I'm sick of it.
Absolutely.
I just like, I don't want nothing to do with you no more. So,
I
uh,
am in agreement.
speaking of insufferable individuals, uh, the Musk is musking it up again. And this time it's not political, so we're gonna leave that. That's the one thing. But he went after Hasan, which I can't actually remember his last name. Hasan is known political, I guess, pundit and streamer and stuff like that, and he's
I know who you're talking about now.
yeah. So he was promoting Assassin's Creed, which came out recently. And somebody else posted and was like, "Oh, look at this! They're using what if they call him a bunch of words, and then essentially Elon was like, "Oh, he's a fraud," and Hassan went back at him and said, "Yeah, did the guy who ranked up your gaming that you said you're the best in the game tell you that this wasn't good?" So they've been a weird like 50 Cent level beef, and it's just odd to me because I'm like, Elon, one, nobody thinks you're a gamer for real. Two, no one cares.
That's
Like,
my point right there. Even if he was a real gamer and he did rank up like a massive whatever score on whatever video, who gives a
who
damn?
cares? Like, you're an adult. Like, I mean, and not to say that the thing about it is gaming. I'm not diminishing gaming. Like, gaming's a real thing, but you don't have to be the best at the game. Like, you don't like. There's a lot of people who out there and they're celebrities and they play video games and they go and say, "Yeah, I'm the best at this," and they go and they get their ass beat, and it's fine, and no one cares.
Yeah,
Like,
basically your gamer score does not matter in real life.
it
It does
doesn't,
not.
unless
It
you're
matters
playing
to your friends
professional.
online.
Yeah, unless you're playing professional. In that case, you're not.
But then it becomes your
That's your
your
life,
income and
right?
such. So then
Correct.
that matters. But then that doesn't matter to anyone other than the people who are a part of
Also,
the community that you're a part of.
nobody asked you, Elon. No one ever went out there, and so it's funny because Hasan blocked him, and he was like, "Yeah, Elon called him a chicken shit," for being blocked. And Hasan's reply was, "Yeah, I blocked you because you bought the site to force us to see your dumbass tweets 7,000 times a day." And I'm like, it's true because I never ever saw Elon's tweets before he bought X.
I still don't see his tweets unless an account that I'm
Posted.
following
I had to block him.
retweets him. But I don't go on that For You page.
Yeah,
I don't. I always go on the stuff that I'm subscribed to.
it's just really ridiculous. And I was, there's another thing watching Hasan. He's trying to figure out like why. He's like, yeah, Elon's had like a beef with me for a while, and he's like, I don't know where it came from. But then he made a comment to the fact that Elon's baby mom's Grimes was on Hasan's show, and he was like, yeah, she was like, why are you so buff?
She
So
said that to Hasan
she said to Hasan. So I'm wondering if that's why Elon feels away. But once again,
because he's a
no,
soy boy.
nobody cares. You're the richest man in the world. You see what No, people feel what they feel about Jeff Bezos and his Build a Bear wife. But
Oh shoot.
at the end of the day, you have the money in the world to be whoever you want to be. Why are you choosing to be a loser?
Well, he didn't choose to be a loser. Maybe he actually is a loser. I mean,
He's a
listen,
rich loser.
he's an intelligent, wealthy loser.
Damn.
Socially, just because you have money and you have intelligence doesn't mean that you fit in. You know what I mean? Because there are people who don't have a lot of money and don't have a lot of intelligence, and they're still the life of the party. So,
Yeah, maybe that. I mean, he's definitely a loser. That's all I got. And the more he talks, is just like I put him in the category of Sam Bankman-Fried too, where it's like when you hear them talk, you're like, you're very brilliant, but like there should be like
can see that.
intermediary.
I can see that. I can see that because Sam is a he's one of those guys who almost believed that he was bigger than the system.
Yes.
And yeah, I could see that with Elon. The same thing goes with our boy Trump. I could see that. There are some people who they have, I don't know where it came from, but they have definitely built it up somewhere in their head that they are bigger than the systems that are in place. So, yeah.
Anyway, but that was the Elon thing. I'm sick of. Somehow this episode has turned into all the people we much rather never talk about anymore.
Unfortunately,
but that's just what it is. But on a better note, going into the Anthony Mackie pivot interview, which we actually did a whole episode of Juxtapose about from a different angle. But we wanted to talk about the success is given section because he said that, and I'll play the clip in here. But you did actually hear when he said that, right?
I did not hear the full clip, but I did hear the basically the gist of it is that the success that people have, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the success that we have isn't due to hard work. It's because that we were pretty much, as to use it in layman's terms, right place, right time. Mm-hmm. And that's what accounts for a lot of success.
And to clearly define that, he was talking primarily about Hollywood, and he used that to say that we were told a lot that if you work hard enough, you can be successful. And truthfully, it's also a level of being prepared that is missing. And I guess we wanted to go into that because I think we had a little competing opinions there. Because I agree with him. I think that it's being in the right place in the right time and being prepared. Like I've always heard the statement that preparation and timing leads to success more than anything else. So you still got to be prepared. You still got to do the work. But you still have to, you got to be in the right space for some of these things to happen.
Right. And I didn't fully disagree. I think I remember saying I'm more 50-50 with it because if you listen to what you're saying, you keep mentioning the preparation aspect of it. Mm-hmm. The preparation is the hard work. Yeah. So if you don't do that part of it, there is no success to speak of. So to say that it is given to you is not entirely true, because if let's just say I were to show up and be in the right place at the right time looking for an acting role, there's a good chance I'm not going to get it, because there is no preparation that happened. There is no hard work that happened. However, someone who has been preparing, who has been working hard towards this, when they do enter the room, which is being in the right place at the right time, then it all comes together for them. Yeah. So I am not in agreement, nor am I in disagreement. I think it's a combination of the two things.
Yeah.
So you can't completely eliminate the idea that hard work will get you the successes. Without the hard work, you will never get.
You never get anything.
In most cases, because I also remember during our conversation, I said, unless we're talking about situations of nepotism where, hey, this is my dad, and no matter what I do, I could be the biggest F up in the world, my dad's going to give me this job. It's locked in. That's different. But for the average person, yeah, some degree of work is required, regardless of if you get that alley-oop.
And I think one of the things he actually mentioned, he was talking about his role in 8 Mile, which it's so crazy to think that was such a long time ago. But he said his role in 8 Mile had no speaking parts. But during his audition, he spoke to the director about another movie he had shot. And he asked him just in conversation, like, were you trying to do this? And it fostered a relationship that brought him back. And so he was like, hey, do you have anything else to shoot? And he's like, no. So he, like, every day he was on set just developing the relationship with this guy, and they expanded his role to be way more than what was originally, like, he's like, every day he would come back and there would be more stuff. So I think from his experience, he's saying, like, I don't think he's downplaying it. It's just like he's just giving an alternative viewpoint to the fact that we've always been told if you work hard, you could be successful. Right. And truthfully, it's not always about working hard, and it's another cliche, but it's also about working smart and communicating and interacting with people and being aware. Because truthfully, I think he also is slightly devaluing his own thought process, but his work that he did. Because to know and to study this person, previous work to the point where he was able to call out something that the other guy was trying to do that other people may have not noticed is his preparation. He was 100% ready for that opportunity. And so I think I could honestly understand where he's coming from, because I do think it's not always nepotism per se, but I definitely think it's a lot of, you gotta be in and around people, and you, like, to go back to the Kanye thing, there's very little Kanye can do right now to make people want to work with him.
Right.
Because he's created such a negative feeling around his name versus someone who has a clean slate, who can come in and be influential, is more likely to have a chance. And I think that's really what it is, or what he was going for. And truthfully, all this stuff that he said, even the stuff he said about his kids that we talked about in the other episode, he is giving his point of view. And honestly, I can't knock that, because he's been successful by every means, possible, right? Right. So he's talking about his lived experience, and I for no other reason, got to respect that.
Of course, absolutely, I agree with that.
But yeah, that's I think that was a good way to end on a better note after all the
the negativity.
Yeah, man, we got some work to do for the rest of the year, because the first couple of months have been rough, and we gotta find some better things.
And it's only the first quarter, so I don't know. Things could trend worse, or
nah. We're gonna put this out there positively. Even if it's worse, we're gonna find a way to make it better.
We'll try to put a good light on it, regardless.
We'll try to make something happen.
Okay.
But if you made it this far, as I say all the time, we appreciate you. Definitely do all the things that they say you're supposed to do, like, subscribe, comment. We're also on Spotify. I actually don't know if you knew that. So the Wrapped is now on Spotify, on everywhere you get your podcasts. So check us out there in audio form. But yeah, this has been wrapped. Peace.